What internet marketing expert should you spend your valuable time listening to? Listen to someone who has over 20 years of web marketing experience and hundreds of website marketing success stories. That man is Aaron Sparks from Site Strategics. And this is Edge of the Web Radio.
All right, hey, we're going to be getting into a number of articles that we actually had looked at to continue our discussion about PPC ROI. That's pay-per-click campaigns and their return on investment for advertisers. You know, too often, now, the articles are from Search Engine Journal by Matt Umbro and Jen Havisi. Those are some good supplemental information. We're going to have those links on the site of Edge of the Web Radio. But, hey, let's jump into this real quick. Too often, PPC manager and client relationships fail because of proper expectations that they were not established on the outset. You know, we found this especially true with lead generation pay-per-click campaigns. Now, there are different types of pay-per-click campaigns, but the goal here is to get those prospects, those customers, talking to you. You know, PPC lead generation campaigns are unique in the sense that the conversion doesn't always mean a sale. However,
right.
You know,
Yep.
It could be a newsletter sign up. It could be a white paper download, and that's important for as you're getting into advertising to know the dimensions of contact with your website itself. You know, a visitor may fill out a form, but there's no guarantee whether or not they're going to return as a customer.
Right.
So you need to look at what's happening on your website and be able to categorize some of these conversions. So what is a conversion? Okay, because again, we're talking not just at the paid ad side of things. It's what the consumer does when they come to your website. There's often a disconnect between the PPC manager and the client about how a conversion is defined.
That's a good.
You know, in e-commerce campaigns, the conversions are very easy to see. Yeah. E-commerce is, okay, they bought something online, right? But, you know, some other types of conversions can be a little bit more elusive, you know? And on top of that, different conversions don't immediately lead to a sale. The PPC manager sees a conversion as a form submission, so these online forms. Meanwhile, a client may define it completely differently. Sure. Each conversion type that you have, you need to count these conversions. So look at your website in the mindset of different doorways that people can walk through.
That's exactly it.
You know, and it's not one homepage. Right. It's a three-dimensional object almost, where somebody can actually come to one of your side pages. And in this point, whenever you're sending traffic to a landing page, right? Yeah. You can control the dimensions of that accessibility, but you can also bring them into the rest of the website, and then they can start digesting information about your company and then find different ways in which they communicate to you. Now, They also communicate to you in ways without lead generation. They communicate to you in the ways they actually traverse your website. So think about this as you're sending paid traffic, and we always recommend landing pages in this regard. But if you also give them access to the rest of the website, your site needs to be developed in such a way that you can understand more of the want from that customer by not having a flat site with just services and that's it, but having deeper content that is structured around the different type of service levels that you have. You can actually start understanding that paid ad consumer behavior, and in a lot of ways, that is a potential conversion. Now, you don't have them picking up the phone and calling, but you do start understanding what you need to build into your website to provide better bait, you know?
Well, people come to a website for all different reasons, too, you know, and sometimes it's not that they just want to add something to a cart and buy.
Right.
You know, sometimes they're researching a year out. You know, I'm like, you know, with mine, I'm looking at kitchen remodeling. You know, I want to remodel my kitchen. Well, I know I'm not probably going to do it until next spring, or or even the year after. Right. But I'm starting to look now on trends and starting to read pages and read articles and and reviews and everything else now, and so there's going to be multi-touch. I'll probably sign up for a newsletter on it somewhere when I find one. I'll probably, you know, and so it's multi-touch. And so I think people make the mistake of thinking, oh, I've got to have a conversion engine right here that takes a visitor to a purchase.
That's it. Yeah, it's so myopic. It's just one it's tunnel vision.
And the word conversion is there because you're First, you want to convert a visitor to a returning visitor.
Yep.
Then you want to, you want to convert someone that read one page to multi-pages. You want to convert someone that keeps reading the site to a subscriber.
Yep.
You want to convert the subscriber to a qualified lead. Then you want
tiny steps. Yeah. Tiny steps.
Yeah. And so you're converting, the person all the way down the funnel, until they do business with you.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. And on top of that, you need to put a value on the different types of conversions as well. They all are not just a conversion, like you said. You need to actually categorize the different type of cost per conversion. It's imperative to create appropriate cost per conversion goals. And we're not just talking about what advertisers see in the interface. A goal should be set up for what the actual cost per conversion is, as well as a cost per sale, right? So you also need to weigh different conversions differently. It's not all, like I said, it's not all one value. You need to really focus on, okay, the sales, the important feature, but what's the other scoreability? What's the weight of a newsletter, right? So when your advertiser or your manager is actually evaluating it, right, it's not just for the pool of leads. It's also the leads that fell into newsletter as opposed to the leads that fell into a sale. Another point is ensure that accurate tracking is in place.
Yes.
At the basic level, links should be tagged with a UTM code. It includes certain custom parameters. For example, for CRM software enables advertisers to see a combination of the campaign, the ad group, the keyword, and match type or ad copies. So you need to be able to pass those values to the site, so where you can pick them up at a lead form. With proper tracking, both the advertiser and the client should be able to see how many leads are coming through the PPC. The primary challenge is analyzing the lead quality as well, which we could certainly get into. What the type, that's a deep conversation in its own right, the quality of the lead. But there's a gray area whenever you just bring in those leads, right, and it gets into the CRM. Does it stop there? It shouldn't. It actually should continue on of what the quality is. Here at Site Strategics, we actually are tracking not only lead gen through the forums, but we also track the phone calls. We have dynamic phone tracking. We're going to talk about that a little bit later in the show here. But literally, we review the calls that are coming in, because we need to see the quality of the consumers that we're bringing to our clients. And we try regularly to communicate with our clients and review the leads that came through this week so we can get a full intake. See, it's not about a conversion on our end. It's not a conversion on the client's end. Right. Conversion on the client's end is, we could bring any number of leads. If they're not buying, then it's completely academic. Well, great, you brought me 100 form fills. Where's my actual sales in that respect? Yep. So it's additional focus on how that campaign is really running correctly. And you have to get that feedback from the client. And if your pay-per-click campaign manager is not asking those questions, are they really in tune with what they're advertising for you? You have to ask that question. For example, make it quick. Let's talk about a company that's selling IT management software, right? From the PPC management side, we can optimize the account for better lead quality by implementing negative keywords and refining the settings. Ultimately, it would be helpful to see the form submissions and automatically removing fake email addresses and phone numbers if they're like selling a demo or something like that. It's garbage. You just don't look at the conversion of the amount of leads, because there's always going to be a percentage that's just garbage going into your account there. So you need to know and filter certain fields like job title or email. Does the lead actually use an email or a personal email, or is it a Gmail account, right? There's so many leads that come through that people are literally looking for business from a Gmail account. They're trying to solicit some advertising. Hey, we can get you at the top of Google's ranks. Connect with us to building PPC landing pages, because there's some critical mistakes that can actually happen in those landing pages, and we're going to talk to you about that right after this.